So your life, right? Awareness, conscious awareness is a real thing. Once you understand it and once you become it, you can really change some shit, bro. You can really change some reality. You can warp that bitch to your liking, right? So listen, today we're going to be talking about the energy chart. These feelings, these emotions affect you in these ways, right? So 20, shame. The frequency of 20 is the frequency as of a dead person, right? It's also the same frequency as something like polyester. So if you're somebody who wears polyester underwear, polyester clothes, that shit literally seeps into you. Right now, something like linen, material like linen and cotton vibrates at the frequency of 500, right? That is the same frequency as love, right? Me personally, I wear only cotton. I'm wearing cotton right now. I'm wearing cotton on my shorts, right? It's a fucking power play. It's an energy move, right? I sleep in cotton sheets. Why do you think rich people wear linen a lot, bro? Why do you think linen is so expensive? Because it operates at 700. What is 700? 700 is enlightenment. Listen, bro, you wear linen pants, and if you're conscious about this, right, you're physically going to feel more energy, right? So this is not some bullshit like woo woo. You know what I mean? Energy frequency is a real thing, and you guys need to understand that. So let's start with enlightenment, right? The 700 plus. This is when you're on your grind. This is when you're proving to the universe that you are worth it. This is enlightenment, right? Every single day, you should be pouring your heart out for what you want. You should be sacrificing for what you want, and you will feel enlightened, right? But this is where your habits come in, right? Because when you do certain things in your daily life that make you feel emotions such as shame, guilt, grief, right? It's going to keep you down here, right? So you can't be participating in these activities, right? Just to list some out is lusting in any way, right? If you beat your meat, you're going to be at a low vibrational frequency and you're not going to be able to change your reality, right? So that's step one, right? And it's hard. It's harder. It's the hardest thing to do because it's the lowest thing. It's the shame and the guilt, right? That is what keeps you down. That is what keeps you broke. That is what keeps you in the reality that you don't desire, right? Now, here comes the desire. Let's talk about this. You will never attract what you desire because desire is a low frequency, right? Also, this leads on to the aspect that everything you see cannot be on a pedestal. And we're not even talking about money, right? Because money is a tool. Money is a byproduct of what comes once you become conscious, right? Once you become conscious, you can start building machines, you can start building systems in order to make the money. But the first step is reprogramming your mind. The first step is becoming conscious and aware that you are conscious, right? So listen, if you desire a girl and you view this girl above you, right? Let's say she's pretty and you're a bum and you think, whoa, she would never go for me, right? Same thing for the Bugatti or the Lambo or the Ferrari. Oh, I could never get that thing because you see it as above you, bro. And that's where desire comes in. Desire is not the way because you need to see yourself as one with what you owe. Hold up, my dog's fucking. Enzo, Enzo, shut up, bro. Shut up. Why are you barking? I'm sorry. This leads on to anger, bro. Okay. Anger, 150. Anger good though. If you fight, if you know how to turn it into power, you can do something with it, right? But listen, it starts at right here, right here, and right here. This 350, this acceptance, bro. Once you accept your situation, once you accept where you are, how your brain works, look at yourself in the mirror, look at your body, right? And let it hurt because you don't like the reality that you're in. And it all starts with accepting it and understanding that you can change it, but you can only change it if you accept it. The second you do so, you're going to raise your vibration, you're going to raise your frequency, and that alone is going to do way more for you than you could ever imagine. Okay? Now listen, results take time. Okay, you can't expect to make your first $10,000 tomorrow, but you can expect to live a rich life as the person you want to be. All right, so listen. Willingness, 310. Willingness to learn, willingness to apply the knowledge that you learn, and the willingness to actually build the system that you need to build in order to run it up. Because a lot of people say they're willing to put in the work, but nobody's really, a lot of them aren't really willing to put the work. But if you are somebody that is, it'll be worth it, bro. And I don't think you'd be watching this deep in if you aren't. So let's keep on going. Right? Reason. What is why? Right? Why? This is why I ask a lot of you guys the same question. Why do you even want to build a money making machine? Why not just stay in your 9 to 5? Figure out your reasons and think about them for real. Think about how good you would feel if these reasonings were fulfilled. Right? Love, joy, and peace. Right? You do it out of love. You live out of joy. Right? You work out of joy because you know that the work that you're putting in is going to cause you so much love into your life, bro. It's going to cause you so much abundance and so much greatness in your life. You know what I mean? You're physically changing the world around you. You're physically changing how much money you make. That's physically changing the way that you're going to be able to live your life. Not only you, but your family. You know what I mean? So it's a big thing. You need to operate out of love and joy, bro. Because every single video of every single one of these chapters that you watch, you should be watching out of joy and love. Why? Because it's going to keep you at a high vibrational state. And when you're high vibration, you're going to learn better. You're going to perform better. You're going to act better. You're going to be that better person, right? So 600 comes peace, right? You get peace knowing that you're on a good path, because before you found glitch, you were lost. A lot of you, right? Before you found this video, you didn't even know what consciousness was. You just thought, you know what I mean? You didn't know about none of this. So it all starts somewhere. And the only reason you know about it now is because the actions that you did led you here. You know what I mean? You decided to, follow what you followed. You decided to like what you liked. You decided to go where you went. And you took yourself here. So this physically shows that you can bring yourself somewhere else, right? Higher. You can bring yourself to that 10K month. So 700 plus is enlightenment, and enlightenment is where you should always be.